Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the last two that I'm missing from the Miniverse Taco Bell series. These do have the pencil marks, which is how I was able to find them. So the first one I'm missing is the potato tacos. And the pencil mark's right there. And the Crunchwrap. And the pencil mark for this one is right here. Sometimes they're easy to see. I feel like with this purple background, it's a bit hard. You kind of have to like go like that and see how it's right there. The light hits it a certain way. So when I pick them up at the store, I go like this. I'm constantly like rotating and scanning for that lead mark. So if you hold it just right, you can see it. I like the pen holes a lot better because they're so much more obvious, but this series has the pencil marks. Link below where you can find the cheats. Just looking, glancing in, a little concerned because I see the same boxes there, but they should be different. I'm guessing the shells. Okay, flour tortillas. Are those Crunchwrap then? Yeah, okay, they're different. Let's do this one first. We have flour tortillas, instructions, checklist. I like that these look like the hot sauce packets. It's really cute. In here we have our potato bites, our cheese, and our shredded lettuce. I think I've only had the potato taco things maybe once before. They were pretty good. I liked them. Oh, did they like half fold them, or is that how they're supposed to be? Ooh, we got more hot sauce packets. They do have a bend to them. They're slightly squishy and bendy. Pretty cool. And then we have our resin. So let me clean up a bit and then we will start making this one. The instructions tell you to put the potatoes in, then some resin, then the cheese and lettuce, and then more resin over the top, and then cure them for 5 to 10 minutes. And then yeah, they just slide right in there. So I at least appreciate we don't have to fold anything. They already came basically assembled. However, I might do this part slightly different just to make sure everything cures. I think that's what I'm going to do. But let's take everything out first so that we can see it and decide. They are already kind of bent into that shape, which is very helpful. But they are that rubbery material, and sometimes the resin doesn't cure well with that. At least when you're doing layers. So I already think I kind of know what I'm going to do. But let's take a look at the potatoes. Potato bites. They're just little cubes. Some of them have different shapes, different colors, a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. Okay. I don't know why I just put them back in there. We will be needing those. I'll leave some sprinkled out like that. Then of course we have the lettuce and the cheese. I try not to cut through the lettering, but you kind of have to. It's sealed past that. So I'm gonna cut that off. I know that pains some people. They like to have the packaging so they can display it or whatever they do, reuse it in some way. Okay, so let's just put a couple in there to see how they fit. Could just do a line across like that. I'm gonna take off this one at the end. He's really thin. I want a thicker cube. Fit pretty nicely in there because I want to be able to see the potato from the side. I might do some resin right here and cure it. That way it's stuck, and then we can do more resin, a little bit of lettuce, more resin, cheese. Because you're supposed to put sauce on top anyways. The goal is just to make everything touch, but also at the same time, make sure everything's cured. You don't want uncured resin. As I've stated 1,000 times before, if you have uncured resin and you accidentally knock it over, oh, it will leak. It will get everywhere. I know from experience. So let's do this first one. This is a chipotle sauce that we're putting in there. Just like that. Guess you can do it on both sides. That was a little bit, or a lot of resin there. I'm gonna go zap that with my UV light and cure it. Okay, so we have that stuck down. Now I'm gonna add just a little on top and then sprinkle on some of that lettuce. And you can do this a few times if you want to make sure that it's cured. Just do little light areas like that. Cure it, add a little bit more resin, zap it, and then you could add the cheese. I think I will add a little bit more, and then I'm gonna go in here and put resin maybe at the very end, just because it's like lifting up and I want it to be more solid like that. Did that just fall off? Might have been a piece that wasn't touching. Okay, I'm gonna put a little over here. And then I always try to focus on the ends because you're gonna see that when you look through the side. But of course the top's always important. So I'll just add a few more pieces. I didn't give too much lettuce, so we want to make sure we have enough for that other one too. Now I'm gonna fix the sides just a little, and it could just be like the smallest little dot of resin. I don't want to put it all the way down there, but just kind of cover up that gap, but that you could still see the potato. Going to add a little drizzle on top and then add that cheese. Kind of hit some sporadic areas. You can always kind of take a piece of the cheese and dip it in resin and then stick it where you want it as well. I'll pop that bubble. And then place some different directions. And then that should be it. And if you like how this one turned out, you could do the second one the same way. Or you could try it a different way. It's up to you. It does get kind of hard to tell which is the wet resin and which is the dry resin. But something like that. I think this looks pretty good, but I have concerns it's not going to fit inside that wrapper nicely. But let's see. I was trying to kind of open it up more. It definitely doesn't look like the picture. The picture shows it, the tortilla is standing way up there. But it does go in there. I just feel like maybe it looks a little awkward inside there. And you're not supposed to like fold it over or anything. I guess you could. I guess you could glue that or tape that. I don't know, it's up to you. But that's another reason why you should do one at a time, because I did notice in here, it almost shows like you're supposed to press it in as it cures so that it's not so wide. So yeah. I'm going to assemble the other one and then plate it. I do think I'll do kind of a similar thing, but maybe make more of an effort to hold it like this instead of letting it fall open. I do think that first one though kind of fell open like that because it was, you know, they're stacked into each other. And so one kind of naturally gets pushed to like a wider stance because of that. They were stacked inside of each other. Does that make sense? So I will hold my tweezer like this while it cures under the lamp. These are the two, as you can see, very different. One's way thinner than the other, and I'm sure that's going to affect how they look in here. but they still aren't going to stick up like it shows in the picture. They're kind of hidden. I guess you could maybe push them up a little bit like that. And then put them on there with your hot sauce. Overall, pretty cute. Definitely not my favorite in the series. There's a lot of really good ones, but I still think they're cute. The spicy potato tacos. So let's do the Crunchwrap now. We have our Crunchwrap shells, our instructions, which I've already looked at, and they seem interesting. We have our tray, our sour cream, which is the resin. They did give us the nacho cheese sauce again, and it's that slimy stuff. It's not resin. And then the hot sauce we got is hot and mild. Those are so adorable. We did get a wrapper in the tray. Big wrapper. Okay, so that's already assembled. And then we have tomatoes and lettuce, seasoned beef, and our corn tostada. So the instructions for this, it shows you putting in the ground beef, then you take out a bit of the nacho cheese and kind of roll it. Then you're gonna cut one of the tostadas in half, put half in there, and then press it down and then open it. Then you're gonna add sour cream to the inside, which is the resin, sprinkle in the toppings, and then cure it, holding it up like that. You should be able to repeat that twice. I am scared in regards to that, but I'm gonna organize a bit and we will get started. First, I'm gonna open the Crunchwrap, but I did grab my other one that we only used some of this from, and it never dried out. So I'm not quite sure what this stuff is really. I say slime just because it kind of feels like that, but I'll just try to use whatever's in there instead of opening this fresh one. But if you know exactly what it is, leave me a comment, let me know. So these already come cut in half for you. And again, just like those last tacos, see how wide that one is, and this one's a lot narrow because this was forced in there to hold it open. That's what I was trying to say with the tacos, but that's fine. It looks just like a Crunchwrap, how it's toasted on each side, and you can see the fold line, so that is awesome. So we will need to open this, and this should be what I call the kinetic sand material. Looks like glistening rocks. So we're supposed to take some of this. Doesn't say how much. I'll try half. Is half too much? Not for this one, I don't think, at least. I feel like you have to put a decent amount in there so it doesn't slide to the back, since you're going to be curing it, holding it up. I would say like that, right? Now let's dig out some of this. And again, I want to try to split it between them. So maybe I could just cut it like that. It shows it rolling like this and placing it right there kind of up front. I'm going to push gently down, try to flatten it a bit. So you have that clearly defined layer. Then we also have to put this on top. So let's open this without slicing it. I know it pains some of you to see how careless I am opening these, but I don't reuse them. So we're supposed to cut this in half. I would say that's half. And then the cut side goes towards you, towards the opening. that in there. Okay, that's pretty creative. I like that. And it does say to press it down. So a little bit of the cheese got hidden, but for the most part you can see it. Definitely on the sides more. And then in here is where we're supposed to put the resin. Yeah, I'm gonna put it just up front and hopefully stack the lettuce and tomatoes and things up there. This is the part that may or may not get tricky. I'm gonna try to put some in there, all the way along the edge. And I wonder if I can just put these straight back. Or at least just hovering there at the entrance. So it can cure. You could probably do a little bit at a time if you wanted. Or maybe even set it in there and then put the resin on top. I don't know. There's different ways you could attempt to do this. I put one piece there, kind of blocking it. So you could do a layer like that and then cure it. And then drizzle a little bit more on top of that and then add the tomatoes. I might do that. Here's that first one. I started the second one, which is a little bit more difficult to do because, like I said, it's a lot thinner than this. But I'm gonna add a little bit of the resin up front. Try to sprinkle some of the tomatoes. Of course, you can place them with your toothpick as well, or your tweezers. And then carrot. I feel like it looked good until I added the tomatoes. I'm not sure how I feel about that look, but we already did it, so let's cure it. This is how they turned out. Overall, pretty cute. It was an interesting concept, cutting those in half and then using the sticky whatever that is. So yeah, pretty cool. Now this does open, so you can put them in there if you wanted, but they show it plated like this, where that's like the wrapper to lay it on and then the hot sauce on the tray. So pretty cute. If you missed my other video where I made all the rest of them, I'll link it below, so check it out. Leave me a comment, let me know from this series which one's your favorite, and stay tuned for many, many more. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.